Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Complete Sports Media's podcast. I'm your host, Darren Campbell, and doing the weekend wrap up as usual on a Monday. Jason Cameron joining me. How's it going, buddy?
It's going good. It's going good. Monday is now over, which is always a positive thing for me. I'm not a Monday guy.
No.
I don't think I've ever been a Monday guy. But you know what? As far as Mondays go, this was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The Monday was actually nice. The weather was nice. Yeah. But we're not going to have any more nice weather like that. That was it. That was our thing for the next 3 weeks.
I hear we're in for lots of rain, and I know the feeling on Mondays. I spent so many Mondays in the past year, I guess a couple of years now, where I didn't work, and it was just phenomenal. It's so great to break down the NFL, all the things that went on, just get into the week, ease in, and then go to work Tuesday. I missed that. This has been kind of crazy going to work Mondays. I haven't done it for a while, but today was good. Good weather, easy day. But I was sure pumped and excited to do this tonight because, man, what a weekend of sports. Like, we had the UFC out of Madison Square Garden, New York City, one of the greatest cards ever, and definitely the card of the year, I think, and just amazing fights to watch on Saturday.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough that I watched it with yet another different friend. Had to go way out there though. He lives out in Michigan. That was quite the trek, but I was overjoyed at how good the event was. We both were. I'm going to be honest, a little bit tired that Saturday, but man, I was not tired anymore after I saw all of those fights. I was pumped.
Yeah, just the energy coming out of that place, and I couldn't believe it. So often, these fights don't really live up to the hype. The cards, they're stacked from top to bottom, and you're thinking, oh my God, this is going to be one of the greatest nights ever. And, you end up, liking some of the fights. Some of them just don't pan out, but just constantly great fight after great fight. And it was just so entertaining. And Madison Square Garden is just legendary. They call it the world's most famous arena. You could just tell it just meant so much more to everybody to be there in that crowd, 20,000 strong. And it just was, just incredible. What a great way to start finishing this 2021 year.
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for a better night of fights. Like you literally couldn't ask for a better night of fights. The night of fights were so good that there was a lull during one of the best fights I've ever seen, but people almost had a hangover from the previous fight, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that was pretty weird. Yeah, that people were just so hyped up about one, and if the second fight was just almost as good, but they had completely blown their energy out. Week 9 of the NFL concluding tonight. Really pretty tight game so far. Really weird weekend in the NFL. A lot of big upsets. This game so far has the Steelers up by 10, 23-13. Steelers just kicked a field goal. Darnell Mooney scored the touchdown for the Bears, 15-yard TD, but then the Bears had the ball and just fumbled it. So I don't know. I know you have a bet going tonight. I know you're on the Bears side, but I don't know. I think the Steelers are in for a win tonight, it looks like.
Okay, number one, I'd make that bet. I like his.
You didn't. You canceled it. Okay.
I didn't like his terms. I didn't like it at all. I know. We know Tony. Yeah. So trying to get one over on me, and I said, no, I'm not doing that.
That's smart.
But we will get another bet that's better for both of us.
Nice.
Just not tonight. I didn't like that bet. I didn't like that bet.
I'm glad you pulled out of it. I'm glad you decided it wasn't good for you because, I didn't like the terms either, but I just thought, okay, you guys are going to do it. You're going to do it. sometimes people want to bet so bad that they'll even go with terms that aren't very good for them.
No, yeah, and you have to always remember, it's like you want to win, right? You want to make money, not just lose your money over nothing. So
Yeah.
I didn't like that, but we'll probably make a bet for this Sunday coming up on a game that works for both of us.
I used to go golfing with some guys that wanted to bet so bad that they would, say, okay, Darren, there's money on these holes. We gotta, make it interesting. I'll give you a couple strokes per side. No, it's good. Okay, 3, 4, 5. I'd keep sloughing them off, and they'd keep increasing it to the point where there was no way they could win the bet. And so I'd say, yeah, sure. And then boom, I'd always end up with the money in the end. And I was like, they are that crazy to bet. They want to bet so bad that they're willing to make the odds in their favor, in my favor, so good that they can't even win. That's bizarre.
Yeah, it is bizarre. It is bizarre, but also too, that's a problem. It's an addiction problem. Yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Hi, my name is Joe. I have a gambling problem. Maybe that's the next conversation they should have.
Yeah. That's what they should have. But let's make this bet first, okay?
Bet how long they're gonna be able to last in their rehab, trying to get out of Gamblers Anonymous. Yeah. Lay inside bets.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's hilarious. This is gonna be a great week. We've got a short week this week. Remembrance Day, Veterans Day in the US. Super important day for to honor the fallen heroes and the people who fought for our freedoms. I always make sure that I'm somewhere 11/11, 11th hour, 11th day, 11th month. Honor those guys. Means a lot to me. Some guys, lots of people just go, holiday, great, and they don't recognize it, but I do. I think it's very important to remember all those people that have helped us be free.
Yeah, it absolutely. It's important for us to remember the quote unquote greatest generation, because of we're living what they sacrificed. Yeah. We are able to live free and clear because of their sacrifice, and that's something to be honored and remembered always, forever, as far as I'm concerned. So
I'm glad we always have that day, and I'm glad sometimes the productions that we work on don't recognize it, but I'm so glad that they do, because I think it's very important, and but it makes us good. We also we work way too hard, put too many hours in. It's nice to have a midweek day off. It's quite rare for us.
Yeah, it is quite rare. And I know for myself, I'm going to be somewhat enjoying it. I got to help a friend, do some moves and stuff like that. But you know what? It's my boy. He asked me to help, so I'm helping. All good.
We talked about the UFC briefly that night. It was going up against the Canelo Alvarez fight. That was quite surprising that they ended up going head to head same night. Pay-per-view was $80 for the boxing, $65 for the UFC. I ended up getting to see the Canelo fight, but kind of brutal that when these two sports decide to put on these pay-per-views at the same time on the same night.
It almost makes it seem like, to me, like they did, like the boxing, not so much UFC, but boxing did that on purpose.
Yeah, maybe
they did. I think they did that on purpose, maybe to prove a point that we're still top dog. I don't know. You know what? I guess we'll find out when the numbers actually come out on who came out on top.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know that the boxing match, I heard from you, very good. I was concentrated on the UFC. I wish I could have seen them both, but obviously I could not. But like it would have been so much better if they just had it on different nights. So much better. But,
it was I was really frustrated that they put them on at the same time. I could see it off in the corner and I was keeping my attention to it, but the UFC was happening, and I was mad. Luckily I've watched some, lots of replays as well, so I could see it more in depth and hear the commentary better and stuff. But yeah, Canelo Alvarez, sixth complete unified title holder. He has all 4 belts. Man, he is phenomenal talent, and he's been 16 straight 16 undefeated streak. He had the 1 draw against Triple G, but other than that, man, what a force. I think it's the first all unified champion from Mexico, and just starting to get into legendary status, one of the greatest of all time.
Well, all you have to do is just look at his record. He's got 1 loss. Yeah, we know who he lost to.
Right.
And
Yeah.
for the listeners and viewers out there, that was Floyd Mayweather, who hasn't lost to anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Only person he's ever lost to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. He's at the height of his powers right now. I don't see anybody beating that dude right now.
No.
I don't see anybody beating him right now. No one.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, it's so great. Yeah, it's great to be in an era of a guy that's that incredible. And Floyd, had an amazing career, undefeated. Once he's moved to the side now, Canelo's taken over. We saw Manny Pacquiao just retire. We've seen so many guys in those weight classes that are just phenomenal to watch, and it's great. It definitely shows that boxing's still got a ton of popularity. I do feel like when the numbers come out, the UFC's pay-per-view buys will probably be more, which isn't the case at quite a few of these big boxing matches, but really strange and really too bad they ended up putting it on the same night.
It is too bad, but again, like I think that was strategic, maybe on the boxing side. Again, just to possibly quote unquote, I don't have any real proof of this, but to put the UFC in their place,
Maybe,
But at the same time, though, I hope that the numbers are close, because then Kamaru Usman would actually have a real argument to go to Canelo and say, well, you made some numbers, but so did I.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, there's a bit of rumors that they're trying to put together a boxing fight between Usman and Canelo. And I think that would be really, really dumb, really ridiculous. And it would be also just as ridiculous if Canelo said, sure, I'll do MMA and fight you, Usman. Different sport, just let's not go there. I don't want to see that. Conor did it, fine, but keep these guys in their own sport.
And also too, I'm gonna be let's delve a little bit more into it, which was Floyd Mayweather made that fight look good.
Right.
People don't understand that.
Right.
He actually made that fight look good.
Yeah.
Canelo probably not going to do that. What he's going to do instead is, I'm just going to blow this guy out of the water, and it's going to be over in round 1 or 2.
Yeah. Okay, I hear you. Yeah. It won't be good. It won't turn out well for anybody involved, except Canelo will just destroy him quick. Yeah. I do have some numbers from the UFC's attendance. Was 20,750 sellout at MSG, $9.9 million at the gate. That's the 4th highest gate in MSG history. UFC has number 1 and number 4 now in the history of MSG. And I said at the start, the world's most famous arena. There have been so many events there, and for the UFC to have two of the top 4 highest gates ever from there, that's incredible.
So, yeah, because you think about how many combat sports, boxing, whatever has been in MSG, it's iconic.
Yeah, all
the battles that have gone through there, and for the UFC to say, well, we got 2 of the best gates ever. That tells you something. That tells you that this sport is on the come up. The sport is rising still, and it is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, it's only been legal in New York for 5 years, and man, they have been able to put on some incredible events. I can't wait to break it down. It's going to be super fun. I've been chomping at the bit for the last couple of days, ready to break it down with you. But why don't we just talk about the week 9 of the NFL? Really, as I said, very strange week. We had Buffalo losing to the Jags 9-6. We had the Cowboys being shut out 30-0 by the Broncos until they got a couple late touchdowns. The Titans surprised the Rams last night. That was quite shocking. The Cardinals still have the best record in the league. And even without Kyle Murray and 3 of their top offensive weapons, they were able to get a victory. The Chiefs didn't look good, squeaking out a win against the Aaron Rodgers-less Green Bay Packers. Browns crushed their cross-strait rivals in Cincy, and Lamar had a big comeback. A lot to break down, a lot to talk about. We usually start in the NFC West. We might as well start with the top team in the league again, Arizona, 8-1. I really was shocked that Colt McCoy could come in and really just fill in so admirably, have a great game, and get a big 31-17 win over the Niners. This just didn't seem to miss a beat.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, so Murray's out, so we're just going to plug you in and nothing's going to change. And basically, that's the way that worked. Wow. Nothing did change. Colt McCoy came in, handled his business, threw for 249 yards, 22-26, 1 touchdown. And the running back Connor had a great game, 21 attempts for 96 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then received another one, 5 receptions for 77 yards. The man had a huge game.
Massive game, yeah.
Massive game, man. Massive.
Yeah, they were down. DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, and Chase Edmonds got hurt on the first play. So 3 of their top weapons plus their quarterback are out. We saw Green Bay do it, but Rodgers was still in there. Without Kyler Murray, you thought no way, but James Conner stepped up, had a phenomenal game. Budda Baker had another pick, great on defense. Christian Kirk stepped in. Eno Benjamin had a TD. I mean, they are, they're really shocking people. I think people thought they would be this good maybe a year from now, maybe 2 years from now. They saw them coming up, but not quite ready. But they have just really proved the world wrong after that heartbreaker loss on Thursday. They had another extra few days to get ready for this one. And, I think they just put together a great game plan and pulled it off.
Yeah, they did. They pulled it. They had a great game plan. They put it together. They executed absolutely like flawlessly, and it's just we just keep rolling. The machine just keeps rolling. It doesn't matter who's in there, and it's awesome to see. It really is.
Yeah. These are the Cards' drives. Their second drive of the game, 9 plays, 57 yards, resulting in a touchdown. Third drive, 8 plays, 86 yards and a touchdown. Fourth drive, 14 plays, 85 yards and a field goal. And they had 2 forced fumbles and 2 punts in between all of those drives. And that was it. Boom. They put those score on the board. See you later, 49ers. Jimmy G had a lot of yards passing, had a great game. George Kittle came back from injury, looked good. Brandon Ayuk was good. They have a lot of weapons, but they just couldn't compete with the best in the conference. No,
they couldn't keep up. Their offense couldn't keep pace with the Cardinals, which is really weird to say because that the Kyler Murray wasn't even in, and they still couldn't keep pace with that offense, that prolific offense. So just a great work by the Cardinals and great preparation by the Cardinals coaching staff to make sure that Colt McCoy was ready to go and that they were able to execute just as well as they did in this game.
Yeah, I like Cliff Kingsbury a lot, and he missed a game because of COVID, but came back and really just put this game plan together and looked phenomenal. The Rams didn't hold up their end of the bargain and keep pace with Arizona. They took a big loss, and quite surprisingly, against the Titans when Derrick Henry was out. Didn't think that they would be able to be as dominant as they were, but yeah, they looked phenomenal beating the Rams, who have had a really, really good year. And Rams are great on offense, great on defense. They seem to have it all together, but not against the Titans in this one.
No, the Titans defensive line really shut down the Rams offensive line. They pressured Stafford all game. Simmons led the way with 3 sacks on Stafford. Tennessee as a whole had 5 sacks on Stafford, and they just really shut down their offense. Like they just shut them down. Tannehill had a pretty good game, solid, 19 of 27, 143 yards, touchdown, interception, and then he rushed for 1 touchdown too. And their new acquisition, AP, had a touchdown.
Wow.
Went 10 for 21, so not the AP that we remember, but he still managed to get a touchdown. And hey, at the end of the day, the Titans got the win.
Yeah, super happy to see AP's back. Didn't really look like the AP of old, yeah, like you said, but he got his 125th career touchdown, 119 on the ground. Yeah, like you said to me today, that's got to be up there. That's got to be one of the top guys in the history of the league. And yeah, hopefully once he gets his legs under him, he gets in more of the game plan. We can see him break off some great runs and have a good year filling in. Derrick Henry's shoes are massive to fill, but AP's had a absolutely incredible career.
Yeah, he's had a stellar career. And I hope that he can come in and help them in whatever way, shape, or form that he can, so that the Titans can keep this train moving along the tracks, so to speak.
Yeah.
It just sucks that Henry, who was having, you could possibly say it could have possibly been a career year, but unfortunately got derailed with that foot injury.
Yeah. Titans top team record wise in the AFC, looking, really, really strong, even without Derrick Henry. I think they have a lot of weapons. I love AJ Brown. Julio Jones has been reborn there. I'm not counting them out. I think they're going to go far in the playoffs. They've got the best record and have for the last few weeks. And I feel like, look out, Tennessee's for real.
Yeah, and especially if they can somewhat fill Derrick Henry's shoes by committee in the backfield, then they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with, man. Because I did not expect them to do this to the Rams.
No,
and they did.
Yeah, Rams fall to 7-2. Titans go up to 7-2, and as I said, number 1 seed. Titans host the Saints in the early window next Sunday. The Rams go to San Francisco to face the 49ers on Monday Night Football, a week from tonight. So, we'll see how that shakes out. Chicago has scored. It's 23-20 with 4.5 minutes left. Keep you abreast of that a little bit. It's tight. Maybe you should have pulled off that bet.
Maybe. I'm gonna be honest. Chicago's just not a team I can trust.
Yeah.
They can do this, or they can lay an egg. You don't know what Chicago team is gonna show up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so we've covered the NFC West with the Cardinals on top, Rams sitting in second. We've got the Niners there, and then we've got the Hawks. Seahawks had the bye. But I heard just today that Russell Wilson's been cleared to play. He will play this coming Sunday against the Packers and possibly against Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers will be cleared to play on Saturday. So a lot of people are pretty mad at Aaron Rodgers right now. I don't know if he burned the bridge and, could possibly face this suspension, could face some fines, breaking protocols. He's in a lot of hot water for this positive COVID test and some of his sort of shadiness around being vaccinated and stuff.
I'm just gonna say it for what it is. He did not tell the truth.
Yeah.
He was asked certain questions. He alluded to the fact that he was immunized, and then he was asked follow-up questions to the immunization answer, and his answer was, yeah, I'm good. Like, wait, what?
Wow.
And then we find out because he got caught that no, he's not even vaccinated. None of that stuff is real. Like,
Wow.
all you have to do, if that is your stance, if that's what you want to do with your body, because it's your right, then just tell the truth.
Yeah.
But the fact that he didn't tell the truth, and the fact that he didn't follow the protocol, and the fact that he thought, I'll just flaunt this, I think a lot of people on the team, the staff, knew.
Yeah.
And they tried to keep it quiet for him because he's winning. But now that that's happened, now he's got to pay the piper.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not good. I don't think he gets a pass on this one. I think if I was commissioner, if I was running the league, I'd really hit him hard because, you can't have these people lying about this kind of stuff. This is, killing people around the world here. And, this is serious. And, if he wasn't vaccinated, he should have been wearing a mask everywhere he went. But I saw many, many press conferences without a mask on, possibly, spreading COVID around if he's got it, right? So not good at all.
No, not good. And again, like I said, he's flouting it in front of everybody, saying that I don't really have to do this. I'm not saying that it's because he's Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying from his actions, it kind of tells me that, well, I am Aaron Rodgers, so I don't have to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the wrong message to have to your fans and to your teammates and to the league in general. Not good.
No, not good at all. Yeah. Yeah, it was a crazy thing to have happen this week. We'll get into talking about the details on their game against the Chiefs in a few minutes, but I thought we should cover that a little bit because it's been quite the story, and a lot of Packers fans are even mad at him. And I didn't think he could do much except leave the team and have them mad at him. Favre, was the golden boy, and then when he left the team, a few people got mad. Rodgers comes in, takes his place, seemed to have Wisconsin in his back pocket. Probably could have ran for mayor, state senator, whatever, would have got the heck of a votes. But seems like a lot of people are pretty mad at him right now.
Yeah, man, and as they should be, because like this is a real thing for many people. It has affected them in negative ways. People have lost people because of COVID-19. It is not a joke. This is some serious business here, and you should treat it with the seriousness that it deserves.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he has done that because he has. He just hasn't been honest. He hasn't been honest with himself or the fan. Well, maybe he's been honest with himself because he's been lying. But at the same time, it's like, come on, man. Just all he had to do is tell the truth.
Yeah,
and he didn't do
that. Yeah. We saw it in hockey. Evander Kane, he got suspended from having. He lied about being vaccinated, and it's not a good thing. I really wish it wasn't something we had to deal with and talk about, but we'll see what shakes down in the coming days. Okay, we talked about the NFC West. Let's turn to the NFC East. The Cowboys are still leading. This, division was a complete joke last year. Giants ended up winning it with a losing record, and everybody was terrible. Cowboys have had a great year, but boom, they got really blown away and shocked by Denver. 30-0. It was just an absolute crushing defeat by the Cowboys. They're still in good shape, but were you shocked by this result?
Yes, completely shocked. I turned to the game because I was watching a different game, and then I saw, wait, can that be right? 30-0? What the heck happened to this team? Like,
No.
they were doing so well. Like, does that mean that Cooper Rush should have started again? We just give Prescott another day off. Like, what the heck just happened?
So
It's
weird.
like the offense fell off a cliff, man.
Yeah.
Von Miller's gone. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. That was amazing. Yeah, it was a shocking result. I couldn't believe how much they just rolled up on him. Dak Prescott coming back and just not being able to, do much. They were 0 for 4 on 4th down. The time of possession was Denver had the ball for 40 minutes and 54 seconds. Dallas 19 minutes and 6 seconds. Crazy. Jonathan Cooper came in for Von Miller and had a phenomenal game. He had 2 sacks. And a lot of people thought Denver, when they got rid of Von Miller for just some draft picks, they thought, oh, they're throwing in the towel, they're tanking. They don't want to, win. And the tank was not on at all. They were determined to win this one. Bridgewater had a phenomenal first half, 125.5 passer rating. They also were great on the run, 96 yards in the first half on 17 carries. Their defense was super great, just suffocating the heck out of Dallas. 16-0 at halftime, and then they just kept rolling it on and on and on, and Dallas just couldn't recover at all. Crazy, yeah, to be able to just shut them down that badly.
Yeah, and the fact that their time of possession was greatly enhanced, the Broncos, by the running attack, which was like it went through them like Swiss cheese. Williams 17 attempts for 111 yards, and Gordon 21 attempts for 80 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, man, that they literally could not stop their running attack. They could not stop it. The Cowboys.
Yeah, it was awesome. I loved it. For Dallas, Malik Turner got the only 2 TDs, but back to the drawing board for Dallas. They host the Falcons early window Sunday, and the Broncos host the Eagles at 1:25. So, but as I said, yeah, Dallas has got that division pretty much in hand. The Giants are in second place. They sit at 3-6, but they pulled off another upset, beating the Raiders 23-16. I was really quite surprised at this result as well. This one was really about the turnover battle. Derek Carr threw 2 interceptions and lost a fumble. That was really just, Raiders just couldn't overcome these miscues, and the Giants didn't have a really great day, but they were able to pull out the win.
Yeah, because of those said turnovers, and McKinney was the recipient of both those interceptions with 2 picks, and one of them for pick 6 for 41 yards.
Yeah.
And then they just rolled with that. Mac Jones was all right, 15 to 20, 110 yards and a touchdown. And Booker in the backfield subbing in for Saquon Barkley, 21 attempts for 99 yards, almost had a 100-yard game. Yeah. The Giants did well, but I think the Raiders were still reeling from basically having to let go of their number 1 receiver because of what happened with him, drinking and driving, DUI, and unfortunately killed somebody within that. So released immediately from the team.
Yeah, and they had another guy released today. I'll pull up his name in a second. He had posted some threats online, showing off a gun and saying he was going to kill somebody with it. One of their corners, drafted same time, 2020 as Henry Ruggs. And brutal. Details are sketchy a little bit coming in today, but I guess they got wind of this online threat, and decided to cut him immediately. And they seem to have a lot of problems there, and a lot of people were worried about professional teams going to Vegas because there was a lot of craziness in Vegas. a lot of distractions, a lot of people that might be on the wrong side of the law. And wow, it's biting them really bad these last couple of weeks here.
Looks like the coaching staff is going to have to really bear down on the team. I get it. Vegas is that place for many people. But at the end of the day, these men are professional athletes. They need to conduct themselves in a professional way at all times. So that means that they'll have to exercise discipline when they're having fun.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. His name is Damon Arnett. Let's see here. Will I be able to see? He's in the middle of 2 lawsuits against him. He posted a video. He left the scene of a car accident in October 2020 near the team facility when he was running late for a team meeting. The woman that he hit is suing him for damages. He has a second lawsuit by an employee of a casino that alleges that he screamed at her, spat on her, and had a big fight over trying to retrieve his car from the valet. And then this video just surfaced that has him brandishing some weapons, threatening to kill somebody with them. So somebody that they said they do not want employed anymore. They've given him a lot of opportunities, but he's burned his bridge there, and seems to there's some troubles there. There's some real troubles there.
Yeah, I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it's a smart idea to me if you're a public face and then you threaten somebody with your guns on the internet saying, I'm coming for, like, this is not a movie. Nope, not a movie. You can't play around like that.
Not good. No, can't be doing that.
Yeah. The result.
Okay, we're still in the East. We've been able to cover the Cowboys, the Giants. Let's talk about the Eagles. The Eagles had a great game against the Chargers, but fell 27-24. Justin Herbert had another phenomenal game, 356 yards passing and a couple TDs. Austin Eckler was utilized again quite a lot. And Keenan Allen had 12 catches for 104 yards. Chargers, yeah, they've had a couple stumbles, but seem to right the ship pretty good on this one and have a nice victory over the Eagles.
Yeah, they did. They righted the ship well, and that was because of Herbert's coming to the rescue, so to speak.
Right.
38, 356, like you said, was 2 touchdowns, and then he ran one in as well. He was absolutely on point, and that's kind of that's what you expect from your leader of your team. That's the kind of thing that you expect him to do when it matters most, and it did. This was a win that they needed, and they got it.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get into the AFC really quick, and the Chargers lead the West there. We'll talk definitely more details about that. We were covering the NFC East and talking about Philly. Jalen Hurts had another great game. Man, that guy is a weapon. I think they just need to surround him with a little more talent. I think he's going far. I love watching him play. He's so athletic. He's so tough to bring down. He's a Lamar Jackson, but just needs, a better scheme around him, I think.
Yep, totally agree with you on that. Like he can do it all. He can do it all. And I think his decision making is just getting better as we're going along here during the season. Like these games, like basically what's happened to the Eagles kind of reminds me of what the Chargers were going through last year, where a lot of these games, the Eagles are just barely losing.
Yeah.
And so if you give him the weapons that he needs next year, if he gets those things, these games like this one against the Chargers, now they'd start to win.
Yeah. I love Devontae Smith there. He is amazing. And, they got to keep him, but they got to surround him with more talent. Devontae Smith had 5 catches, 116 yards, and a TD. The rest of the entire receiving core only had 46 yards. So, I can't believe he can be that productive with nobody else really there helping him out. They just don't have, they just threw away Zach Ertz and said, oh yeah, somebody, you take him. We don't need him. Goddard is okay, but he's not the weapon that Ertz was. And I like Jordan Howard, but this team definitely needs more weapons, a little more on defense. And you're right, though. They do remind me of the Chargers from last year. I think if they can get a little more around him, it'll be fun to watch again.
Yes, definitely. They would be fun. They would be relevant, most importantly. Yeah. And Hurts would be happy because he's like, oh, you finally given me stuff I can use to win. I need these things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Chicago just got a touchdown. It looks like I think they're going to review it and make sure, but it's 26 all, 1:45 left in the fourth quarter. We'll see. Oh, they're going for the single extra point, but somebody jumped offside there. But yeah, holy cow, Chicago might pull off this upset. We'll see what Big Ben can do with a little less than 2 minutes left. They'll get the 2-minute drill out there and try to march down to try to get in position for a field goal or get a touchdown. Pretty surprising result here. Most of these primetime games have been close. We weren't really expecting this one to be close, but are you surprised? It's tied and Chicago has a chance to go ahead here.
Yeah, it's basically telling me I should have made that bet, but yes, I am surprised. I am surprised. I didn't expect this kind of effort from the Bears, but maybe I should have, because the Bears and the Steelers usually always have like a good game against each other, regardless of whether the one team is doing well or the other team's doing well or not.
Yeah. No, it's a great old rivalry. They've been part of the league for so long. And so you got the single. So Chicago 27-26, 1:46 left in the fourth quarter. And we'll see what the Steelers can do. Let's talk about the NFC South. The Bucks had a bye week. They sit in first place, 6-2. The Saints sit 5-3 in second place, and the Falcons are 4-4 in third. They had a huge, tight division battle, and Atlanta pulled out the victory. Matt Ryan had a phenomenal game. The Falcons were up 24-6, and the Saints made a furious comeback, but M.I.A. and his weapons were able to pull out the big victory, 27-25.
Go Falcons! Yes, my Falcons actually, they didn't crumble in the end. They actually pulled it out. And what helped was Ryan hitting Cordarrelle Patterson for 64-yard game to set up for the game-winning field goal by Young Ho Koo.
Yeah.
I didn't know who their kicker was until just this moment. So Young Ho Koo, 29-yard field goal for the win, which is awesome. And Matty Ice, 23-30, 343 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he ran one in as well. Yeah. He did everything in his power to win this game, and he did. And then you had Patterson, 6 receptions for 126 yards. Very impressive.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Zacchaeus, 3 receptions, 58 yards for 2 touchdowns. Nice work.
Yeah, no, he was great. They ran that same play, third play of the game, the pass to Cordarrelle Patterson down the sideline. He got it for 34 yards. They ran that play with the fourth. There was 3 plays after that catch that Patterson had, and then they kicked the field goal. Exact same play, and he ran it for 64 yards this time. So must have been great for that offensive coach to know that, man, that worked. I got to pull that off sometime later in the game. And that weapon was just there. It was, boom, down the sideline. That guy is fun to watch when he gets out in space. And he was the reason why they were able to get that late field goal.
Yeah, he is a weapon that Matty Ice has been utilizing very well so far this season. Had no idea that the man was that good, but he is,
No.
and that's definitely somebody that they should be keeping their eye on and keeping in house for as long as they can.
Yeah. The Saints were missing Jameis Winston, but Trevor Siemian came in and looked pretty good. 250 yards passing, couple touchdowns. Alvin Kamara, utilized as usual. Mark Ingram back. Recently got back on a trade from Houston, reunited with the team that drafted him in 2011, spent 8 years in New Orleans before he was turfed out the door. Great to see him come back and have an impact. The former Heisman Trophy winner, I saw an interview with him. He's just thrilled to be back there. That's really his professional home. Didn't have tons of success when he left. Great to see him back.
It is great to see him back, and also too, he's probably overjoyed to be back because just getting out of the purgatory of Houston. Yeah, if I'm on that team, I'd be like, oh, trade me too. Can I leave? Can I leave as well? I'd love to leave.
I know what you're saying exactly. And Young Hoku, you should know that guy. He's got 3 game-winning field goals this year. That guy has come through so amazingly, and the Falcons actually sit in a playoff position right now because of their kicker.
Okay, number one, amazing. As I got to tell you, there's no way that I thought that they would be in a playoff position because of the way they started. There's just no way.
Yeah, 1-3 start, and they're in a playoff position, man. It's unbelievable.
Yes, that is. So I hope they can keep it up. I hope they can keep in that position. I don't know if they can, but all I need is Young Hoku. Just keep hitting those field goals. Keep hitting the game winners, buddy.
Come on, buddy. I was really worried for you because the Falcons were up 24-6, and all of a sudden I saw Saints creeping back. I'm like, oh my God, no, this Falcons team, they've had too much heartbreak being up big on games and losing it, but nice to see. And Matty Ice, man, I love that guy. Man, he just puts in so many great performances. And yeah, another huge win for Atlanta.
Yeah, huge win. I love Matty Ice. I know he's had his trials and tribulations. He's not a fan of Brady. I know this for a fact because I'm not a fan of Brady. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just overjoyed that they didn't fold and they won this game.
I know. Chris Boswell getting ready to make a kick if they can get in position. He's already hit 2 field goals tonight, 1 from 52 and 1 from 54. So he's got the leg. He did miss an extra point earlier, and it's looming very large right now because it would be tied. But Steelers are marching, 50 seconds to go. Let's see where they are on the field. But yeah, can he get it? Oh, they're really in field goal range here. Yeah. What happened? Ben's pointing to somebody, saying something, but yeah, 40 seconds left. I think they're in really good shape to pull this victory out.
All right. That's good for the Steelers.
Yeah.
If they can pull it out. They haven't kicked it yet.
That's true. Yeah. Never can count a field goal in, that's for sure. That's one of the toughest jobs in football, I think. You're either the hero or the GOAT. It's a tough job.
Yeah, unless you're Tucker or Vinatieri or somebody where you just go, oh, okay, so he's gonna hit that and the game's over. Okay, that's cool. Unless you got an automatic guy like that, then it's always in doubt until it goes through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So okay, let's talk let's finish off the NFC South. We talked about the Bucs, Saints, and Falcons. Panthers sit last in the NFC South, 4-5. They fall below 500 with a 24-6 spanking at the hands of the Patriots. Sam Darnold, he's benched, and I don't know, he might not ever come back. His his early resurgence again coming out of the Jets, and boom, he's fallen back to earth. Doesn't look good. This could be career ending. If they bench him and he doesn't come back, I don't know who's going to take him.
Yeah, it's not good. Not good. He was intercepted 3 consecutive possessions in a row in the second half, and one of them was returned for 88 yards for a touchdown. So they're not good. And also too, Belichick is actually 4-0 against this guy. Wow. Because his defensive scheming, Darnold just goes like this. I don't know what he's done. What is going on? I'm just gonna throw the and then it's an interception. He has, against a Belichick defense, 1 touchdown and 9 interceptions.
Oh my God! Wow,
that is horrible.
Yikes. Belichick was just licking his chops as they were putting the game plan together. Eh? Holy cow! Wow.
Yes,
those are some rough stats.
Yeah, man. He like Belichick just goes, "Ooh, I'm playing Darnold. Fantastic! Count this up as a win."
Man. Okay, Boswell's lining up a kick here. He's 7 for 9 in game-winning kicks in the final couple minutes in fourth quarter overtime. They're icing him with a timeout here.
Good job, Bears. Good.
I don't see the yardage distance, but it's a shorter kick. Definitely should be doable. And I wish you would have put money on the
yeah. So do I. Thank you. I get that now. I get that.
The only thing that went wrong for the Patriots was they lost both their running backs. Both left from head injuries. Damian Harris got a head injury, had to be removed from the game. And he got it. 40-yard field goal. 26 seconds left. Steelers take a 29-27 lead. Big Ben giving high fives all around. And Justin Fields now has 26 ticks on the clock to try to pull something out. Probably pretty unlikely. But yeah, the Patriots decimated their original running back, Ramondre Stevenson. He was doing great. 10 carries, 62 yards, couple catches, 44 yards, but boom, head injury, had to leave, concussion protocol. Damian Harris came in. He had 15 carries, 30 yards and a touchdown, but then boom, head injury, had to leave the game. Next man up was Brandon Bolden. But man, that's tough, losing your top 2 running backs in the same game.
Yeah, super tough, but at least they got the win, and hopefully both running backs don't have lingering effects that will keep them out for the Patriots next game.
Yeah, and Patriots also lost their tight end Jonnu Smith to a shoulder injury. Not sure of the severity of it. Panthers had Christian McCaffrey come back. Great to see him back. Love watching this guy play. He's such an amazing weapon out of the backfield, running, passing. Great to see him return.
The guy can do it all, and he's one of the best offensive weapons in the NFL today. I love watching this man work. I think it would have been a mistake if the Panthers had actually traded him for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
I don't think you trade a talent like that. You keep a talent like that on your team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, okay, we've covered the NFC. We've got the North. We talked about the Packers. We talked a bit about the Vikings. The Bears game here, and the Lions still sit winless. Looking forward to, I guess, maybe a Thanksgiving win. They're always playing on Thanksgiving, but 0-8. And hopefully Dan Campbell has been able to have a week without no crying.
Maybe he just wants to enjoy his Thanksgiving. He's like, oh, please, I just want. Please, can we get a win?
Yeah, lost Lost your audio for a second there, but
Yeah, sorry.
yeah, you were just saying, yeah, just praying for a win, no more tears.
No, praying for a win, and I just want to enjoy my turkey with the cranberry sauce. Like that's all I want, and a win.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so AFC. We talked about the Chargers a bit. They lead the AFC West at a 5-3 record. Raiders 5-3 as well. But they're reeling, man. Henry Ruggs, that was really rough, losing him. And then we hear about this cornerback. A lot of tough things going there. I don't know what's going to happen with the Raiders, but I'd see them in tough. But this division has 4 teams all within half a game. The Chiefs pulled out a late win, 13-7 yesterday, even without Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love comes in, doesn't look good at all, but man, you think the Chiefs are, gonna pull this together, but they still didn't look good at all.
No, they didn't. They literally just did enough to win against a team that was missing their MVP of last season. Yeah. So yeah, that's not actually the real team that you beat there. I hope that the Chiefs realize that they dodged the bullet because of Aaron Rodgers not being in the lineup.
Yeah. COVID helped the Chiefs, and it was rough. But the thing that really stands out for me is they drafted Jordan Love a year ago. He had a whole year under Aaron Rodgers. There as a safety blanket, there as a succession plan when Aaron Rodgers moves off into the sunset, either retires or goes somewhere else. And he's been great, MVP, like you said, but at some point they knew Jordan Love was going to come in there, but man, the game plan just didn't seem to fit Jordan Love at all. And it was really sad to see how poorly he played, but poorly how the offensive scheme was designed to try to bring him in and give him an opportunity to win. It was pathetic. I don't know what the Packers were thinking.
Well, the coach did fall on the sword for that one, because he said, I am responsible for getting him ready, and I did not do that. It was pretty obvious to those watching that game that he wasn't ready. And you're just like, well, if this guy is supposed to be the successor to Aaron Rodgers, why isn't he ready? Why isn't he ready to go? Because anything can happen in the NFL. Rodgers could get an injury, be out for the rest of the year, and he wasn't prepared.
Yeah, he was not. Well, the Bears, amazingly enough, in those 26 seconds, were able to get in, but it's a 65-yard attempt here.
Perfect.
65-yard attempt here. Oh, it hit the crossbar.
Are you serious?
I think it hit the crossbar.
Oh, it did, but it didn't bump.
It didn't go in. Like didn't do the double doink and go in. I think it fell out, and the Steelers win 29-27. I'm gonna see a replay, but it looked like it hit the crossbar to me.
Oh wow! Hey,
65-yarder. Wow.
Yeah.
24 seconds. They were able to get close, but not close enough.
No. I guess they'll blame Fields for that. All we needed was one more yard. He couldn't even get us that.
Great. Yeah, that would be funny, eh?
Yeah.
Let's see it. Here it is. It's high. It's deep. It's
short.
Oh, it didn't quite hit the crossbar. No, it's still a bit short. No, it didn't. No. Oh, optical illusion. It was quite short.
Oh, okay, woefully short. Okay, but it was online though. It was online. Yeah. You would have made it.
Good enough. That's awesome. Okay, so AFC West, we've covered Chargers, Raiders, Chiefs, Broncos with the huge victory. Half a game separating that division. So insane. We'll see how that starts shaking out in the next little while. Okay, let's go to the other division in the AFC with all 4 teams super tight. We've got the AFC North with the Ravens sitting at 6-2, leading the division. Steelers now 5-3, Browns 5-4, and the Bengals 5-4. So The Ravens, they had a huge comeback win. Used to be that Lamar Jackson couldn't win coming back. He was 0-6 in a lot of opportunities, but now he's done it 3 straight times, been able to come back from double-digit losing and pulled out the win. Looked great doing it. Man, he is another incredible guy to watch. Such a weapon and a really big victory for the Ravens.
Yeah, he by himself almost had 400 yards of offense. All right. 27 to 41, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but 21 attempts rushing for 120 yards. Like, it's just so ridiculous. My goodness. Like, you don't know what
I was like,
do.
holy crap. Like, that's unheard of numbers for a QB to rush it 21 times for 120 yards. Like, not too many running backs in the whole league get 120 yards in a game, let alone the QB.
Yeah. And so as a defense, you're going, I don't know what he's gonna do. I got no idea, but I'm terrified. He's terrified because he decides to take off and run. Oh, he just happens to be one of the fastest guys in the NFL too, as well. It's great. It's fantastic.
Amazing. Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, great to see former MVP took a lot of criticism, but seems to be able to address his weaknesses and just be really, really phenomenal. This game was only close because he threw a couple picks, but you can't fault the guy. He was utilized so freaking much in this game. It's incredible. His stat line was, I had to look about 3 times to go, am I actually seeing these kind of numbers from the QB here?
Yeah. And on top of that, he's the only reason why they came back in the first place.
Yeah.
Because this was a game that they were set to lose.
Yeah.
Without him putting on his Superman cape and saying, don't worry, guys, I've come to the rescue. We're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And he absolutely did that.
Yeah, man. So amazing. And they have been decimated with injuries this year. They lost their top 3 running backs. They've had to bring in a few guys to help. Devontae Freeman and Le'Veon Bell have come in. Devontae Freeman had a great game, and Le'Veon Bell had a touchdown. Hollywood Brown, though, man, that guy's great to watch too. Lamar's really happy that they've got him. Another 9 catches, 116 yards, and a lot of them are just spectacular catches.
He's quickly becoming one of the best receivers in the game.
Yeah.
And he's showing it time and time again, week in, week out. I know that Lamar Jackson is super happy that this guy's on the team.
Yeah. Did you see the catch from Devin Duvernay in the back of the end zone? One-handed leaping catch. What a spectacular grab that was.
Yeah, because I thought that was just going to go out of bounds. I didn't think it was a catchable ball.
No.
I thought there was too much heat on it.
I know.
And he caught it. I was like, oh my goodness.
Amazing.
That's
amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. This was really phenomenal to watch. I was shocked because the rookie for the Vikings returned the second half kickoff 98 yards for a touchdown, and they were down 17-3. They were down 24-10 when that touchdown happened, and you thought, oh, okay, this is Vikes day, but really amazing that they came back. Great, phenomenal defensive effort as well. Eric Kendricks had 10 tackles, 7 assists. Cameron Dantzler had 10 tackles, and Cameron Byan had 9 tackles, 3 assists, and an interception. Their defense has always been great in Baltimore, but now they got a great offense, great defense. I think they're becoming the team to beat in the AFC.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you on that, and especially if Jackson keeps the form the way that he's playing right now. If he can continue on this trajectory, they are going to be a load to deal with in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Really.
It'll be fun to watch them on the Thursday nighter game. They play the Dolphins in Miami. which should be fairly easy game, but like I said, most of these primetime games have been close. And the Vikings play the Chargers in LA, 105 coming Sunday. So okay, in that divisional matchup, I mentioned it off the top, the Browns and Cincinnati. The Browns really blew this game out of the water. A lot of people were suspecting a really tight game, but the Browns scored on 6 of their first 7 possessions and were able to really just dominate the Bengals, winning 41-16. Nick Chubb was massive as always, 14 carries for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's 9.8 yards average per carry. That running game sure helps out Baker Mayfield, who had a good day, but doesn't really need to be phenomenal when they have a running attack that good.
Yeah, and it shows. It shows like everything offensively works just so much easier for him if he has Chubb or Hunt in the backfield to help him out.
Yeah,
because it was so obviously apparent, because Chubb is one of the best running backs in the league today, and he showed it. As soon as he comes back, it's like, all right, boys, just get on my broad shoulders. Just give me the ball, like, and actually not even that many times. It's going to be great.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. There was a bit of controversy surrounding the Browns this week with Odell Beckham Jr. deciding he didn't want to play there anymore, and they decided they wanted to part ways as well. He got released today, and there's big speculation that he might go to the Seahawks, which really surprises me. I don't think the Seahawks need him. That is his preferred destination, supposedly, but yeah, what do you think of this mess? Another prima donna receiver that they're not throwing it to me enough. I want out of here. You said Terrell Owens Jr. or Terrell Owens today. That's immediately what comes to mind when some of these prima donna receivers start wanting out of town. He went there, and it just really hasn't been working out for quite a while.
Yeah, and I don't know if the Seahawks really, like, they got a certain culture in that locker room that I think is not him. He doesn't fit that culture. So I don't know why you would want to bring a guy like that into your locker room. And on top of that, that's not what they need to improve their team. They need people on defense to help improve their team, not offense. Not offense.
OBJ has 7.25 million left on his salary for the rest of the season. That's quite a bit to take on. There are a lot of teams with salary cap room, but most of them are at the bottom of the standings. So we'll kind of see where he shakes out. I have a little bit of a list here that I'll pull up in a second who has salary cap room, but do you see other teams where he might be a fit, where he might come in and help?
There probably is, but all the teams I'm thinking of are not probably going to make the playoffs. So that means he'll get all the balls he ever watched thrown to him, but that's about all he's going to get, because he's not going to do anything in the playoffs. So that's what I see. That's what I foresee.
Okay, so there are 9 NFL teams with salary cap room that they could fit Beckham in. Okay, so Jags have the highest amount of salary left with 27.8 million. He's not going to go there because they suck. Eagles, maybe. We talked about them needing another weapon. They got almost 21 million left on their salary cap. So that might actually be a good fit. And I think him and Jalen Hurts probably could get along.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That actually could work. That's a destination spot that could work potentially.
Okay, I'll just run down the rest of the list here. Broncos, 13.4 million left on their cap. Seahawks, 12.6. Panthers, 11 million. Chargers, 10.3. Steelers, 10.2. Washington, 9.3. And the Bengals, 8.5 million. probably some of those teams near the bottom don't want to give up the rest of their cap on one guy, but he might be a fit with the Chargers, possibly might be a fit with the Steelers, Broncos, maybe, I don't know, but we'll see how it pans out. They've got till Tuesday at noon to make a decision if they're going to pick him up off waivers. A lot of people speculate that he won't be picked up off waivers, but somebody will sign him as a free agency deal if he goes through the entire league not picked up.
Yeah, I can definitely see somebody picking him up after all of that, for sure. He's still a talent. He can still help somebody.
Yeah.
I just don't know about like some of those other teams like the Chargers. Again, I look at the Chargers and I think to myself, I don't think he fits that team because of who he is and what he represents. I just don't think that he fits that.
Yeah. And the Chargers got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, two really good weapons there, and Austin Eckler out of the backfield. There's speculation San Fran's interested, and the speculation that New Orleans is as well. Seahawks currently 9th in the waiver order. San Fran is 12th and New Orleans is 23rd. So, we'll see how it shakes out. Cleveland goes to New England to play the Pats 10 a.m. Pacific time Sunday. The Bengals, they go to Vegas to play the Raiders. Okay, let's talk about the AFC East. This division has surprisingly really shrunk down to, the Patriots and the Bills. Thought Bills were going to run away with this division this year. The Jets and Dolphins are horrible. We didn't really think that the Patriots were going to be this good, really, frankly, but Bills had an absolutely dreadful performance against the Jacksonville Jaguars and lost 9-6. I think everybody was just stunned, wiping their eyes and looking again at the ticker. What the hell's going on here? How the heck did Buffalo lose 9-6 to the Jags?
Where did their offense go? Like, what happened to this prolific offense that all of a sudden just fell off a cliff? Like, it's just gone. What? It's not a magic show. Like, what? Where is it? Where did it go? Like, and how come the one Josh Allen was totally outplayed by the other Josh Allen on the other side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball? Yeah. That linebacker, Josh Allen, interception, had a sack, recovered a fumble. He had a monstrous game.
Monster
game. And then the other Allen threw for 2 interceptions. He spread the ball around, 264 yards, 5 attempts for 50 yards. You know what, though? There was a point being made by a certain analyst, and maybe this is a problem now going forward. Maybe they're actually asking too much of Josh Allen, where he's now their number 1 rusher and he's the quarterback. Let's be honest, man. Josh Allen is not Lamar Jackson.
No.
Okay?
True.
He's not that guy. So possibly he needs help to alleviate some of that stuff in the backfield. Like their running backs need to step up and help this team.
The Bills only had 14 rushing attempts in the whole entire game, and Allen had 5 of them. So, where was the rushing attack? Like, it wasn't like, you abandon the run because you're way behind. They were never way behind, but they abandoned the rushing attack altogether. Relied on Allen to try to pull this off by himself. Really strange, really shocking result, shocking game plan. But yeah, I'm glad you brought up the other Josh Allen. He said he was fully disrespected. Everybody was like calling him the other Josh Allen. And he's like, no, I'm the Josh Allen. I'm going to show you guys that. And with a pick, a fumble recovery, all the tackles, pressures. Oh my God, the guy just proved that, maybe he is the better Josh Allen.
Well, he proved definitely in this particular game that he was the better Josh Allen. And now I think people are very much aware that, there's 2 Josh Allens, and that one guy that plays for the Jags on defense, really good. Really good.
Great. Yeah, I don't think many people knew that there was 2 Josh Allens in the league. That's the first time in history that a guy intercepted a ball off the guy with the exact same name. Pretty hilarious stats coming out of this one, and he made a name for himself in one game. So the Bills still sit first in the division, but the Patriots have caught up. They're only half a game back at 5-4. The Jets sit in third, 2-6, and the Dolphins 2-7 are sitting in the bottom. Buffalo goes to the Jets, so they should be able to get a victory there. The Jags go to Indy to face the Colts, and the Colts, they absolutely smoked the Jets on Thursday nighter, 45-30. Jonathan Taylor was absolutely phenomenal with 17 carries for 172 yards and a couple touchdowns, and he got a couple of catches as well. Carson Wentz looked good. Naheem Hines was amazing. Michael Pittman. Man, I love the Colts. Carson Wentz has been able to go there and really rejuvenate that team, and they were firing on all cylinders that game.
Yes, they were. Wentz, solid, great game. He had a great game, and then obviously the running attack with Taylor was just monstrous, absolutely monstrous.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say though, the Jets, with their third QB in, Johnson actually acquitted himself really well.
Looked great.
27-41, 317 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Like I was impressed. I was impressed with the fact that he came in after White got knocked out because he couldn't grip the ball with his right hand. And he was going to win the game, but at least he acquitted himself quite well in that game.
Yeah, great to see. After Mike White had 405 yards passing and, really came out of nowhere, all of a sudden their third stringer comes out of nowhere too. Everybody's like, Josh Johnson? Like, whoa, he's still around? Okay, wow. And then boom, he has a phenomenal game, albeit in a loss, but, great to see these quarterbacks get an opportunity and have a phenomenal game. Let's see what's happening with Mike White, if it's very long, but I love watching the highlights of this Johnson guy. He was great.
Yeah, and that's good because like this is what the Jets have to look forward to. It's like, well, we don't know what this guy can do, so we're just gonna trot him out there and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. In the ugliest game of the weekend, the Dolphins beat the Texans 17-9. Two horrifically bad teams. There was 9 turnovers in the game. That's the first time in 5 years that there's been 9 turnovers in a game. I'm glad I didn't spend 1 second watching this game live. Pathetic teams. Tyrod Taylor came in, threw 3 picks and had a fumble. Jacoby Brissett came in. He threw a couple picks for Tua. Yeah, it was rough. This game was rough. I feel sorry for the people that wasted their 3-4 hours having to witness this debacle.
Yeah, because you're just like, oh, they turned it over. Oh, they turned it. Oh, okay, all right. So I think I get the general tone of this game, which is turnover. So whoever turns it over less is probably gonna win.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it was pathetic. Really super bad. So basically that concludes our coverage. I just want to mention the AFC South. We've covered it all, but Titans are sitting first at 7-2. Colts are 4-5, second place. Jags 2-6 and third, and Texans at the rear 1-8. 8 straight losses for Houston. They get a bye. They can't lose this week. Woohoo! Houston's rejoicing. The Dolphins will host the Rams on the Thursday nighter, like I mentioned a little earlier. So but a crazy week. This schedule has been amazing, and teams are just getting tighter and tighter and tighter together. I guess that's what salary caps are sort of designed for, as well as trying to keep the spending under control. Parity in the league. So many teams through the middle, not too many teams at the top, few at the bottom, but most teams really in that middle.
Yep. And the league has been very good at making sure that parity exists. and that there's not too many powerhouse teams that are just going to overpower everybody in the league. So they've done well in that respect.
They sure have. Yeah. Okay, NFL done. Let's finally get to the UFC. Woo! We get to chat about the best card of the year. One of the best cards ever. Dana White called it one of the best cards he's ever seen in the UFC since he's been around. It lived up to its billing. 6 consecutive knockouts on the prelims, and then the main card starts, and we see one of the best fights we've ever witnessed in the history of the sport. And then we get 2 title fights to end the night that both were great, went down to the final round, 2 rounds apiece. What more could you ask for?
There wasn't anything more I could ask for. Like there was like literally nothing. The first fight of the main card was so good that the second fight, which was just a shade under, it was freaking unbelievable. Like people had a hangover already. They're just like, oh, it's a great fight, but man, I think I cheered too hard for that last fight.
Yeah.
Like you could hear a pin drop. That was the one thing that shocked me.
Yeah.
Any other time that those 2 guys that followed up after the Chandler Gaethje fight would fight, they would be cheering. People would be losing their freaking minds. Instead, you heard this.
Yeah. I know. Shane Burgos and Billy Quarantillo were amazing. They put on a hell of a show, but I haven't seen a crowd blow their wad that quick and not be able to cheer for guys that were really banging too. It was amazing though. That Gaethje Chandler fight has to go down as one of the best fights ever in the history of the sport.
Yeah, they went after each other. They they put it all on the line. They were just like, one of us is getting laid out. And as that fight was going on, I go, this cannot make it to the 3rd round. It can't. There's no way. Like I'm looking at it going, these guys are throwing so freaking hard. They're cracking each other. People are getting wobbled and stunned and going back and forth. Like I just thought there's just no way. But they did. They made it right to the end. And it was amazing to watch.
Yeah, it was really great to watch. And, you know, I hearken back to seeing Justin Gaethje here. You and I went to it here. He faced Cowboys Cerrone. This is the shirt from that night. He has been on a really amazing run lately, but that was the best performance. He came up against a guy that's tough as nails. Chandler just wouldn't quit, and Gaethje's leg kicks are just so devastating, though, just so brutal. Those, definitely were the difference to me. And but Chandler sure didn't lose any fans, probably gained a ton. Just really showed so much heart, even though he took a ton of abuse.
He took a ton of damage, and he kept coming. He kept coming. Like in the second round where Gaethje floored him with that uppercut, I thought this could be the beginning of the end. Nope, that was not the beginning of the end.
No.
He just kept coming at him, had that massive slam on him, I believe in the 3rd round, where Gaethje rolled with it.
Yeah, wow, that was phenomenal. Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is happening? What is happening in this fight? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Chandler had the right idea in the 1st round. He was kicking with the kicker until he couldn't kick anymore because the kicker kept kicking his leg and he couldn't use it. So
it's done. Yeah.
It was done. And that's the one thing with Gaethje that he's going to take away one of your limbs and it's going to be one of your legs.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to try to fight him on one leg, which is what Chandler had to do.
Pretty tough.
And he still acquitted himself well.
Yeah. Both guys ended up in the hospital. They sent him there for precautionary reasons because it was such a war. We didn't get an opportunity to hear them talk. Can't wait to hear some of the talk this week as some reporters will be able to get an opportunity to chat with them. But might have taken a couple years off their life, but it sure gave us a hell of a thrill. The thing that really blows me away about this card, though, is that Justin Gaethje's coach, Trevor Whitman, is also the coach of Rose Namajunas and Kamaru Usman. So he was 3-0 on this fight night and had 2 belts put around his fighter's waist. And Justin Gaethje is now in line to be the next up for the championship once Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier have their battle. He's going to be facing one of those 2 guys. But Trevor Whitman, what a night. Unbelievable. 3 incredible performances by his fighters. Man, I don't know how much he celebrated, but I might be still drinking if I was him.
He should be celebrating like a heck of a lot because he did it. He did it. He did it. He went 3-0, like against the ultimate in competition. And he did it, man. And he should be very proud of his fighters. He should be very proud of himself because they had a rock solid game plan for all 3 fights across the board. And I was just super impressed. And also, too, very impressed with how he's changed Gaethje's game, too. It's not always about the firefight. Sometimes you're going to have to use head movement and not get hit all the time. I know you're tough. Just don't get hit so much so that you're taking all this damage, do more damage, and be elusive at times.
Yeah.
Because it's going to pay dividends. He had to learn the hard way when he fought Poirier and Eddie Alvarez. And then he learned, it's like, oh, I can't just blow through these guys. They're super tough. Yeah, that's what happens.
You know, after saying this, you know, I want to apply for the easiest job on the planet. I'm going to actually send out an email. I might make even a couple phone calls. I think the easiest job on the planet today is the recruiter for Trevor Whitman's gym now. Imagine the guys that are going to be knocking down his door to try to get in that gym to get some training and coaching from him. The easiest job on the planet. Why not hire me? I can do this recruiting and bring in all the best people on the planet because, man, they're going to be knocking down your door.
Yes, absolutely. Because that fight team has 2 champions. And I think there's only one other fight team that has 2 champions.
Yeah.
That's Volkanovski and Adesanya's team.
Right.
They also have 2 champions. So they're obviously doing something very correct. And they're obviously doing like great work with their fighters because look at what they've done. Look at what they've accomplished. It's absolutely amazing. And they brought in 3 ridiculously awesome fights that definitely put this particular UFC in the stratosphere of the best to have ever been done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the main event. Kamaru Usman putting himself in the talk about the best pound for pound on the planet right now. One of the best welterweights of all time, starting to become up there in the GOAT status. 15 consecutive wins in the UFC, cleared out the division, even beat everybody else twice. Has just really been phenomenal. Colby Covington gave him all he could, but just was the second best fighter again. And man, this was a great fight. It was 2-2 going into the 5th, but Usman was the better fighter and pulled out the win. And I don't know who's next for him, but man, he has had an absolutely phenomenal UFC career. And yeah, it will be considered one of the greatest of all time when we talk about it years from now.
Yeah. He's taken on all comers and he has beaten all comers. Yeah. Covington showed his moxie again, showed his toughness, showed his heart. That second round, I thought he's done. He's out of there.
Yeah.
He got dropped twice.
Hard.
Yeah. And still managed to survive and came back with fire in the 3rd round.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, I was just like, what? How is he doing that?
Amazing.
How is he doing that? But the one thing I loved was that Kamaru Usman, super disciplined, never chased after the finish, didn't chase.
Yeah.
Knew that Covington was in there for the long haul, knew from experience, it's like, I'm just not going to be able to get this guy out of here like that easy. Yeah. And he didn't, and he couldn't.
I was really pissed off about one thing that whole entire night, and it was that they didn't give 10-8 in that second round to Usman. All the cards were 10-9. What more do you have to do? You knock the guy down twice. In boxing, that's a 10-7, not a 10-8, not a 10-9. That's a 10-7. I can't even not, I don't know, like, how do you get a 10-8 when you how can you not get a 10-8 when you knock a guy down twice? He dominated that round. It was crazy.
Utter domination. Utter domination. I remember thinking to myself, and I'm like, well, what did Covington do coming back that deserved the 10-9? Oh, nothing. like there's nothing. There's nothing that I could point to in that round
So
for
brutal.
him to have deserved the 10-9. So yeah, but anyways, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter. In the end, Usman got the finish, got the win. But Covington did not make that easy. He fought him as best he could.
No.
He's just second best, man. Second best.
Second best. Yeah, he sure is. Okay. There was another rematch in the women's strawweight fight in the co-main event. Rose Namajunas against Weili Zhang. They fought earlier in the year, and Rose got a early victory with a head kick. Ended up ground and pound and got the knockout on Weili. Weili said it was going to be different this time. She was going to prove that that was a bit of a fluke, and she was going to be able to avenge the loss. But also 2-2 going into the fifth round. And I thought Rose was definitely the better fighter in that fifth and final round. Pulled out the win. Also becomes one of the greatest female fighters of all time, entering that elite status and getting a victory over a really, really, really tough opponent. But phenomenal win for Rose. Really great performance.
Yeah, both ladies put it on the line. And I was very impressed with the adjustments that Weili did with her camp, with her wrestling. First 3 rounds dominated the grappling.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, her tank didn't last.
Right.
Because then in the later rounds, Thug Rose took over and grappled her 4th and 5th and took over that.
Yeah.
And more importantly, took her down in the 5th, held her down, won the fight.
Yeah.
That to me, that's the moxie of a champion. That's the character of a champion. Knowing what you have to do and executing it to perfection. That trip that she had,
Yeah.
perfect setup. Perfect setup, and then did not let her get up.
Yeah.
Didn't let her get up.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a flaw in Weili's game, not being able to get off the ground. I think there was over 7 minutes control time for Rose. Once she got her down, it didn't look like Weili was making a ton of attempts to try to get submissions or to try to reverse it, get off the floor. She was a bit of a turtle on her back, and you know, that should have been Rose's game plan. I didn't think Weili was that poor off her back, not being able to try to get the fight back up to the feet. It was a really one-sided once it got to the ground.
Yeah, and it was surprising to me that in the 5th round, knowing that you kind of need to win that round if you want to win this fight, and there was no effort to desperately try to get back to her feet. At least from what I saw, there was none of that. I don't know if that's because she was done and her endurance was toast.
Maybe
she couldn't get up anyways, even if she tried.
Yeah. That
could have been the reason. But either way, great win by Thug Rose. I couldn't be happier. She's one of my favorite fighters to watch.
Yeah.
I just love how genuine she is. And in her own words, she is the best.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. She's very inspirational and really fun, and great for the sport. Love seeing her get the victory. And it was crazy that somebody actually thought that Weili won that. It was a split decision, not unanimous. Shocking. But when they announced and still, I was like, okay, they got it right, but I don't know who the judge was there on that one. Pretty poor. What about Halle Berry putting the belt on Rose there? She's kind of wild to see The Rock put the belt on somebody, and then Halle Berry now maybe we're going to get celebrities constantly putting the belts on these champions and sort of bringing a little bit of the Hollywood to the UFC as well.
Well, I know that like once that Endeavor bought the UFC, they had a lot of their clientele have shares in the UFC. Probably Halle Berry's obviously one of them. And I guess one of the perks is, you want to put the belt on the champion? Do you want to do that? And also, too, it's a great marketing ploy.
Yeah.
It gets people interested because I'll tell you this much. I was super shocked. I was just like, what's Halle Berry doing in the octagon? Are you kidding me right now? I'm like, for me, again, I didn't even know that she was a fan.
Oh,
I think
yeah, she's a massive fan.
Yeah. Massive fan.
She's a massive
and
fan.
So it's great to see. It's great to see that, like the sport is crossing to all corners of the world. It's going into celebrityhood and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. It's just going to help grow the sport. It's awesome.
The very first time I ever saw somebody outside of Dana White, since Dana White's been involved in the sport, very first time I ever saw somebody other than Dana put the belt on somebody was UFC in Toronto, George St. Pierre and Jake Shields. And I was there at a press conference the day before, and this guy stood up and said, "Hey, Dana, I really want to put the belt around George St. Pierre's waist when he wins. Can I do that?" And Dana looks over and he looks at his team and he's like, I always do that, but do you think I can let this guy do that? Sure, why not, kid? And he let the guy do that. And it was phenomenal to see. Try to watch some footage, everybody, if you haven't seen it. Sometimes it got lost in the shuffle because you just seeing the joy on George St. Pierre's face as he's winning. And but yeah, and then all of a sudden now Dana passing it off to The Rock, to Halle Berry. Who's next? We should see if we can get some prop bets up on who's next. I don't see Jake Paul being the guy, but who do you think could be next?
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen. Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call. Or Logan Paul or the brother. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But I do love the fact that he's actually doing that. He's opened the door, so to speak, for people to do this, and he should continue to do this because, like I said before, I think it's excellent marketing on his part for this to happen.
I saw that Halle Berry was in town there in Vegas. She was part of a same charity that Dana was part of. They auctioned off a dinner with a celebrity, and Dana White was bid on. Somebody bid on a night with Dana. Somebody bid on a night with Halle so they could have dinner. And so that was one of the reasons why she was there. They raised a ton of money. And she's been a huge fan of the sport for a long time. I knew that somehow. And but yeah, to see her in the cage holding the belt, I was like, oh, I didn't know this was happening. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, and also too, I just didn't know because I saw it pre-fight when they were doing the weigh-ins. She was also there.
She was separating the two girls there, right in the middle of them.
Yeah, and I was just like, wait, what's happening? Like my brain kind of broke. I was just like, what is she doing?
Yeah, I don't know how old she is, but she still looks great. And yeah, she brought a lot of class to the event as well. And yeah, there was a ton of celebrities there in New York. Always good to see that. And another thing that came to mind was the post-fight presser with Dana White. He just decided to start throwing out money like crazy. I know he won a bunch of money on Canelo. He bet $100,000 on Canelo to get a KO win, and Canelo delivered in the 11th round. He was probably, I don't know, biting his nails, maybe not, because he's got so much money, maybe he doesn't care, but he won a bunch of money on Canelo. He handed out more bonus money than I've ever seen him hand out before. He handed out $50K to Gaethje and Chandler for fight of the night. He also gave $50K to Chito Vera, $50K to Chris Barnett. Baheda got $50K. Bobby Green got $50K. Then he handed out Curtis, he got $25K, and Shane Burgos Also, Shane Burgos got 50K. No, not 50K. Got some money, some bonus money. He wouldn't tell how much, but Burgos and Billy Q got some bonus money too. So Dana was in a giving mood on Saturday night.
As he should have been. How many times is he going to actually have an event that good?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, how many times is he going to have an event that good?
Yeah.
It's probably not going to happen too often. So when it does, he's got to show the appreciation to his fighters the way that he should have, or the way that he did that night, which is, you guys did the company well.
Yeah.
So here's the reward.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, let's just fly through some of the rest of it. Frankie Edgar was great, but took a shot. Same front kick that we saw Anderson Silva give to Vitor Belfort. Lyoto Machida ending Randy Couture's career. I don't know why more fighters don't do that. Guys, fists are always here. That middle, why not throw that kick? It was perfectly landed right on the chin, put Frankie down. Frankie protested, early stoppage, what the hell, but I think it was just and fine. And, he looked great in the fight, but took the KO loss with the front kick to the face.
Yeah, in the third round. And you know what? It proved to me, though, that Frankie can still fight.
Yeah.
He can still fight, still relevant. But at the end of the day, maybe he's not upper echelon anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just not quite there anymore. But Farah, great win on his part, especially utilizing his, not Anderson Silva, but Steven Seagal taught front kick.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, that's hilarious that Steven Seagal taught him that one. Yeah, that's amazing. I almost forgot about that. That's amazing. Okay, let's talk a little bit about some of the prelims. Where do you want to start? That Bobby Green. Green. Yeah, why don't we talk about Bobby Green? I think it was Dean Thomas that came in at some point early on and said, no, I don't know who it was actually, but somebody remarked, it's going to be hard for Al to see where these punches are coming from because Bobby Green had him down by his sides and he was dancing around and throwing them out of left field and connecting with Al. It was an amazing performance by Bobby Green, who is super fun to watch.
Oh yeah, and then plus on top of that, that fight that he just lost the last time he was in the octagon, he got more fans because of that loss, because he went up against one of the best strikers in the UFC and damn near almost beat that guy. Right? So me, when I look at Al Quinta, I'm like, oh man, no, I think you might be in over your head here. That guy can strike and he can crack. And his hands were so crisp. They were so accurate. They were so fast. That two-piece that he hit him with, bang, bang, just like that.
Yeah.
Done. Over.
Yeah, just like that. Just, you're right, done. Boom. Al had been sidelined for a couple of years. He actually fought for the belt against Khabib a few years ago. I think he still had maybe a bit of a rust on him, but hard to fight a guy like that where nobody else fights with their hands down by the side the whole entire time and comes at you. So quick though, Bobby Green, and just those lightning fast hands are gonna be trouble for most of that lightweight division.
Yes, most of that lightweight division, and I just want to see Bobby King Green keep climbing up the rankings because I really enjoy watching that man fight.
Oh, he's so fun, isn't he? Yeah, so fun. Okay. Chris Curtis had an amazing debut coming in, old veteran that's been around the regional circuit forever, facing Phil Hawes, who just looks like a rock. He just looks like marble and tough as nails. But Chris Curtis had a shocking KO win. Really, really phenomenal for a guy coming in as UFC debut, facing an incredibly tough Phil Hawes.
Yeah, and Phil Hawes' stand-up looked on point, most on point I've ever seen him.
Yeah,
and I remember during the fight, there's like, well, Curtis is gonna have to earn some respect here, or else Hawes is just gonna keep going forward. And as soon as he said that, Hawes countered left hook, pop, and it's like, oh, it started freaking out. And I'm just like, oh my God, look at the delayed reaction. Because almost like Phil Hawes was trying to get himself together
Yeah.
and just could not. The shot
Yeah.
was too hard
Yeah.
and he felled him.
That
Done.
was a crazy delayed reaction because, yeah, it wobbled him a little bit, but then he came in and he didn't really even hit him with anything more cracking. But Hawes was just, my legs are giving out. I'm down. And that was all she wrote. Incredible, crazy upset. He said it was a 14-year odyssey that he's been on. It was his 35th pro fight. Usually we don't see guys getting into the UFC so late. He's got on a 6-fight win streak. They finally gave him this opportunity, and it's great to see a guy change his life like that. Boom.
Yeah, man. And it was just it's encouraging. It's encouraging for a man just to continue to keep chasing his dreams and finally get there and then have a debut like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just spectacular.
Amazing. It was amazing. Yeah. Edmund Shabazian, 3-fight losing streak. We've talked about him, you and I, since he came in. Everybody said, oh, the next greatest guy, he's going to be going to the championship. I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about? And another loss. He's in trouble. I don't know where he goes from here, but I really like this Ian Gary off the early prelims. Another Irishman coming in. He was in trouble a little bit early. Jordan Williams was equating himself quite well, but Gary with the big KO win and cocky as all hell, sounding like a bit like Connor. And he said something like, what did Connor say? We're not here to take part. We're here to take over. And got that Irish personality. Yeah, good performance to come in and get his UFC debut win.
Yes. And he did. You know what? He didn't remind me of Connor. He reminded me of the newer guy that's from England, Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah, right.
He kind of reminded me of that. Like where I was just like, oh, okay, well, let's see what else you got, kid.
Yeah.
Because that was impressive. I would like to see more from him.
Yeah, me too. When we were talking about Trevor Whitman earlier, and you were mentioning City Kickboxing in New Zealand being one of those great camps, Sanford MMA, Henry Hooft, an amazing camp. I really, strongly recommend young fighters going there. He's been having an amazing amount of success. Ian Gary left Dublin, went to Sanford MMA, and he credits them for getting him ready. And did you see the picture they showed of him as a little kid with Connor? He was working at some clothing store, and Connor came in to buy a suit, and they had a picture of him. Did you see that picture? They flashed up on the screen for a minute there.
Missed it.
Man, great shot. Young looking Ian Gary with Connor, and he said he was his hero, and he wanted to, be able to come into the UFC one day, and got his debut, got a big victory, and good on him. I loved Chris Barnett. This guy does not look like he should move that well. He comes dancing into the cage. He throws a wheel kick, knocks John Vellante down, gets the victory, does a really crazy flip. This guy's got a great personality and a lot of fun, and his body doesn't look great, but his fighting style was good.
Yes, his body doesn't look great. Kind of reminds me of another guy from a different combat sport, boxing, Tyson Fury, where you just go, you're just like, wow, that's an alpha body right there. That is that is a body made for destruction, maybe. So, but at the same time, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that might have been, unfortunately, John Vollante's last fight. I believe he was retiring after that fight.
Yeah. He just said, he's done. His career's over. He's going to go into coaching. And John Vellante started out a lot smaller, moved up the ranks, decided he just didn't want to train hard anymore, and he wanted to eat. Got quite the belly on him. Has really moved up to the heavyweight ranks, and a pretty decent career. But I really wish he would have dedicated himself more to the gym, stayed at the lower weight, kept competing there. Just decided he wasn't dieting anymore. He wasn't going to work out hard. Going to try himself at heavyweight. Didn't have success, and calling it a career.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I think if he had more discipline, especially when it came to his food and his eating habits, I think he would have had more success.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay. A few other KOs. Do you anything else to jump out at you, or have we covered the best card of the year?
I'm actually pretty good, man. I just wanted to touch upon Imavov again. I think we had it wrong because I believe those two guys came in about the same time, and all the push was for Shabazian when it should have been with this guy, Imavov.
Yeah.
Imavov is going to be a problem for anybody fighting him going forward in the future.
Yeah.
He looked fantastic in that fight. I was super impressed.
He sure did. Yeah, he looked amazing. I am super impressed, and yeah, I don't know. I think because of him going through Ronda Rousey's camp, I think somehow he got the hype behind him. But Imavov is the guy, and you're right. Yeah, he's a force, going to be a force to be reckoned with for many years. So we had two numbered cards in a row, 267, 268. 268 was just absolutely amazing. This coming Saturday, we've got a card coming back from the Apex. Max Holloway making a return against Yair Rodriguez. What do you think we're going to see here?
Fireworks.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to this fight forever because I believe one of the last times I saw Yair Rodriguez in there was against the Korean Zombie, and he did that crazy, awesome back elbow,
elbow.
Yeah. So I'm expecting fireworks. I'm expecting Max Holloway to throw so much volume strikes that it's going to try to overwhelm and just drown the man. And I expect Yair Rodriguez to show his creativity with his strikes to try to befuddle Max Holloway. I think that fight is going to be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, me too. I'm really waiting for that one too. Yeah, there's a lot of good people on the card. Felicia Spencer's fighting. Oven St. Preux. He's coming in against Philip Leans. I know that Tanner Bozer's fought these guys, so it'll be interesting to see them. Kevin Holland's back fighting Kyle Dawkins. That fight's going to be fun.
Yes, now we finally get to see it happen. Hopefully, no clash of heads this time.
Yeah.
And obviously, I guess Kevin Holland is over whatever little injury that he had, because at first he wasn't going to be in this fight, but now he is. So I look forward to this.
Yeah. Cynthia Calvillo's fighting. We've got just up and down, a lot of great fights. Super looking forward to it. UFC just keeps on rolling. But they're going to be a hard to match this great card from this past weekend.
You're not going to match it. All right. I'm just going to say it right now. You're not going to match it. You can only kind of keep going forward and hope that maybe next year or the year after that you have another card this goddamn good.
Yeah.
Because it was that good.
That was amazing. Yeah, incredible. I loved it, top to bottom, man. What a way to entertain ourselves on Saturday night. So happy that we got to witness it, and it lived up to the billing. And it's going to be years before we see something that good. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it might be a while, or we might see it on December 11th. We'll see.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Okay, let's finish this off. We're going to go to the NBA, talk about the, I guess, third week now of the NBA. We see the Golden State Warriors back atop the league. They are playing phenomenal. Had another victory against the Atlanta Hawks tonight, sitting 9-1 on the year, 6-1 at home, 3-0 on the road. really have put this together a lot sooner than people expected with no Klay Thompson yet. Just rolling. Steph Curry had another 40-point game tonight. Yeah, Steve Kerr has been able to assemble these pieces, and they are the talk of the league, back on top right now, looking phenomenal.
Yeah, they are at the top of the league, and they're the talk of the town, as they should be. Steve Kerr has hit all the right points with this team. The offense has such incredible movement. They swing the ball around, they share the ball, they trust each other. But more importantly, from what I've seen, is their team defense is utterly stellar at this point in time. Yeah. It is so on point. It's unbelievable. I saw a game, I cannot remember which game it was, where Stephen Curry has taken his defensive responsibility to another level. He had 2 blocks.
Yeah.
They called him Steph Mutombo in that game. He was Steph Mutombo. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's not something he's ever been known for. So holy cow. He actually got 50 tonight. He hit the 50 half century mark. 50 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds. 127, 113 victory over the Atlanta. 50, 10, and 7. Like, man, is that a stat line?
Yeah, yeah. And I guess he shouldn't be shocked anymore, but he's the dude is that good.
Yeah.
He is that good, and he will continue to be that good for the rest of the year. And then, my goodness, they're 9-1. You said 9-1, right?
9-1.
They're 9-1,
yeah.
And they're still missing their other Hall of Famer, Klay Thompson. All right.
Incredible.
All right, man.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah. Yeah, they were 40% from 3-point range to hit 18 threes tonight. And man, yeah, so fun. I'm glad I recorded it because I plan to watch it after this. Really great to see 50-point games from Steph, always super entertaining. And Atlanta's struggling. They're 4-7 on the year, but still Golden State putting up 127 and 9-1. Like nobody predicted they would be this good this quick.
No, of course not. You would think maybe once Klay comes back, then they'd start to begin rolling even, but you still have to give him a couple games for him to get adjusted, him to get back into the offense and yada yada. Nope. Don't need any of that. We're gonna be good right now. Yeah. We're gonna be awesome right now. It's just awesome to see.
Yeah,
super excited for the team.
Incredible, yeah. Utah sits tied with the Mavericks. They're both 7-3. Both having a good start to the year. I fully expected them to Utah to be up there, but kind of surprised to see the Mavs right there.
Well, there's that guy. Hold on a second. What's his name? Luka. Right, Luka Doncic. That guy is just that incredible. Yeah. He is that good already. I would say that he's early MVP candidate. Yeah. He's right up there with Steph.
Yeah. With
like what he's done so far this year, which is just ridiculous. Like, what is this? His 3rd year in the league?
Yeah.
Really? Already? You're already that good? Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, I remember when they said they were coming here, and boom, I had to buy tickets, and you said, yeah, I can't wait to see him live. This is gonna be great because, man, this guy is once in a lifetime type of player.
Yeah, he is. He's a generational type player. He's already a Hall of Famer as far as I'm concerned, because he's not going to fall off, and he's just a pleasure to watch. Like, he's just amazing. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Suns had a victory tonight. They're 6-3, looking good. Grizzlies sit 6-4. Denver had a victory, 7-4. Clippers sit at 5-4 and 7th. Kings 5-5. Blazers 5-5. Lakers 5-5. So Kings, Blazers, and Lakers sit all 5-5 on the year. Definitely disappointing for Portland and LA. The rest of the West, these teams definitely are going to struggle. We got Thunder, Wolves, Spurs, Rockets, and Pelicans. Pelicans 1-10, Rockets 1-9. rest of those teams, boom, forget about it. But I think they're still doing that 8 through 10 play-in game, are they not?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something that they're going to just keep from now in, I think.
Do you see the Lakers being in that game again like they were against the Warriors last year?
Well, I think they constructed their team to not do that this year. I think that was the whole plan. I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to count LeBron out. That's just kind of silly and dumb, and you shouldn't really ever do that. So I'm going to imagine that they will get it figured out. He will definitely get it figured out.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be in a playing game this time around. I don't think so.
Okay, let's turn to the East. 76ers without Ben Simmons, who's I think they called him a mental patient or something yesterday, but yeah, he's not there, but they're still the class of the East like they were last year.
Yeah. And so kind of hurts Ben Simmons his whole thing right here, because it's like, oh, I get you're really good, but the team doesn't seem to need you right now, which is not really good. Your case doesn't make your case very strong, but at the same time, man, hey, the team is rolling. Seth Curry is shooting the cover off that ball. He is doing amazing work. Joel Embiid again showing his MVP form. The team's doing great. Team's doing great, and I don't know what they're going to do with Ben Simmons, but it doesn't look like they're in need to move him at all very quickly because of how good the team is.
Yeah. Heat are looking good. They're tied with the Bulls and the Wizards, all 7-3. I don't think people expected the Wizards to be right up there. Bradley Beal's having a phenomenal start to the year, and yeah, he's kind of willing this team into second best record in the East.
Yeah, which is, I don't really know how he did that, but yes, the Washington Wizards, they're relevant.
Yeah,
relevant. I don't know how long they're going to be relevant, but they're relevant right now. So good on Bradley Beal and dragging that team to a 7-3 record.
Yeah. Bulls are looking good. Lots of really good acquisitions there, as we mentioned. Kyle Lowry is really fitting in well with the Heat, and he's really the engine that could for that team. They are very happy they've made that move.
Yeah, as they should be. He's just hitting all the right buttons with that offense, and he's spreading the ball around, basically controlling the pace of the team and their offense, knowing who to hit. And also, too, I got to give credit where credit's due. Tyler Hero definitely got out of his second-year funk, and he has been playing fantastic basketball this year so far.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. Cleveland Cavaliers are surprising a lot of people. Unfortunately, word came out today that their guard, Colin Sexton, has a meniscus tear, out indefinitely, no timetable set for his return. But what's been happening there has been very strange. They are using 3 big men, and that hasn't been done very much in the NBA. It hasn't been done much recently in the NBA. Evan Mobley, the rookie coming there, he's had a phenomenal start to the year. And then they're also using Jared Allen and Lauri Markkanen, 3 guys 6'11" or taller in that starting lineup. Markkanen missed yesterday's game, slight injury. Don't think it's serious, but kind of amazing to see 3 big men in that on the court all at the same time, and they're trying to utilize something different to try to help this team. And 7-4 record. Nobody's suspected that from Cleveland.
Obviously, clearly it's working, because I definitely would have thought that they would have been more to the bottom of the East, and they're not. And they're trying something maybe a little bit revolutionary now, because, teams are more going to the small ball approach. But at the same time, you have 2 very athletic bigs in Mobley and Jared Allen, and Mobley being able to switch onto smaller defenders. So that's why it can kind of work.
Yeah.
So I'm impressed, and I'm glad to see that they're experimenting with this, and they weren't afraid to try.
Yeah. Yesterday's game, Mobley had 26 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Jared Allen had 18 points, 17 rebounds. And Lauri Markkanen, coming from Chicago there, he's been hitting from 3, really dominating from downtown. Cleveland was one of the worst teams by far from 3-point range last year. And that was one of the reasons why they thought getting Markkanen in there would be a big help. And so far he's done good. Hopefully he's not injured much for long, but great to see Cleveland coming back after losing LeBron again. They went back to another rebuild. Yeah, it's starting to come together. They've got a lot of good young talent there.
Yeah, they got a lot of good young talent, and I'm glad to see that they're developing their good young talent. They just didn't trade it away to try to get like established superstars. They might as well go from the grassroots and just build up their own superstars, which I think is the right approach for this team right now.
Yeah. The Nets and the Knicks are all both 7-4. I watched the Raptors against the Nets over the weekend. Kind of too bad. The Raptors had won 5 in a row. They had a really heartbreaking loss on Friday against Cleveland, lost 102-101. And then they played Brooklyn yesterday, and Pascal Siakam came back, made his season debut, but Kevin Durant, James Harden, just too strong, too hard to overcome. Both their good performances. So Raptors win 5 in a row, lost 2 in a row, but it wasn't too surprising that they lost to Brooklyn. But it was fun to watch. Fun to watch Brooklyn. I haven't been able to watch too many games of theirs, but both Harden and KD looked great.
Yeah, and Harden is beginning to maybe find his touch again, beginning to figure out these new rules that were pretty much developed to stop him from scoring like that. So
yeah, I know. He almost had a triple-double, 28, 10, and 8, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. KD was 31, 7, and 7. Really, it's fun to watch those two. This was Kevin Durant's first time back playing in Toronto since he went down with that injury when he was with the Warriors. His first time back in Toronto. He was able to come in, looked as dominant as usual. Really not. You can't even really remember him being injured. He doesn't look like he's lost a step.
It's amazing that he had such a significant injury, and an injury that has historically really affected a player, and it's knocked them down quite a bit. Like, they're just not the same player.
Not the same, yeah.
But not with Kevin Durant.
No.
Not a thing.
Amazing.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It almost, like you said, it just seems like he never even hurt himself.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. As I mentioned, Raptors had won 5 in a row. Now they've lost 2 in a row. They're 6-5, sitting in 8th place. The other teams, 8, 9, and 10, that would be in that playoff bubble if it happened. Hornets at 5 and 6. Great start. Not looking good now. 4 in a row loss. The Bucks sitting in 10th place, 4 and 6 record, 2 losses in a row. Hawks, 4 losses in a row, sitting in 11th, also 4 and 6. Celtics 4 and 6. Bucks have had massive injury troubles, but it's been pretty cool to see the two Antetokounmpos getting into the starting lineup game after game. Kind of amazing for him to have his brother as a running mate right there. Hopefully Bucks can get healthy, and I think they'll start moving up the ranks quite quickly once they do.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is only a temporary thing, that they're bottom dwellers right now because, well, they're missing a huge chunk of their team. So it's not going to last.
No. Okay, well, for me, that covers the NBA. If there's anything you have to mention, do so.
I love the Warriors, and I love the way that they're playing. And I cannot wait to see what happens when Klay Thompson joins the team. I can't wait to see what that's going to look like, because if they're playing this good already, and then you add that guy onto the roster,
Yeah, that's gonna be just incredible. I'm excited again. They've had 2 down years, but man, and great to see them come back. You see a dynasty, and then once they fall off the mountain, you think, oh, maybe they'll never get back there. But yeah, maybe they've been able to have just 2 down years, and maybe now they're going to be back up amongst the elite all season. Great start. Hopefully, they can keep it up.
Yeah, I really do hope so. And if there's one thing I can definitely count on, is that Steph Curry will continue to keep scoring and continue to keep shooting at high efficiency on threes.
Yeah,
that's the one thing I can lay my hat on. He's going to continue doing that. That means the Warriors got a chance. They got a shot.
It's true. Yeah. Okay, man. Well, it's late. Let's end this. Appreciate it. This as always. It was a blast. Really nice to break down the NFL. Amazing UFC card and a little bit of NBA talk. I guess we'll be seeing each other tons this week. Can't wait. Thanks again, man. This was fun.
Yeah, this was a blast. One of the best UFC cards ever. Always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure.
Okay. Cheers. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers. Bye for now. Okay. Thanks, everybody. This was extra long one. I kind of figured it might be, but yeah, wow. I look at the clock and that time has flown by. Thanks for sticking in all the way to the end. Appreciate it. As always, love you guys lots. Thanks to our sponsors. We've got Anchor FM, easiest place to make a podcast. Verbero, the hockey equipment and apparel company. Pampas Impossibilities, Desires of West Coast Great Things, and Forever Living, the Aloe Vera Company for health and beauty products. Appreciate your support as always. Thank you so much. And go to our website, completesportsmedia.com, completemedianetwork.com. Lots of exciting things there every day. Love you guys lots. Thanks again, Larray, for all your great help. And we will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.